cold. I can still see the wind in her golden hair. I close my eyes for a moment, I'm still there. The bluest skies in Texas. Okay, so here is the Bible verse I'm going to read to you now. I'm only going to read you a little part because this is like really long, and I only want to read this one particular part. I cry out to you, God, but you do not answer. I stand up, but you merely look at me. You turn on me ruthlessly. With the might of your hand, you attack me. You snatch me up and drive me before the wind. You toss me about in the storm. I know you will bring me down to earth, or bring me down to death, to the place appointed for all living. Surely no one lays a hand on a broken man when he cries for help in his distress. Have I not wept for those in trouble? Has not my soul grieved for the poor? Yet I hoped for good. Evil came. When I looked for light, then came darkness. The churning inside me never stops. Days of suffering confront me. I go about blackened, but not by the sun. I stand up in the assembly and cry for help. I have become a brother of jackals, a companion of owls. I thought that was um, beautiful, and it just kind of touched me. So, you know, and today I wanted to focus a little on Charlie Kirk because I've done little things here and there, and I did go into detail on Tyler Robinson. I told you I would investigate that, and I did. And I, read the indictment and the article about his family, and his family basically turning him in, and his lover turning him in and everything like that. And honestly, there's not much else you need to know about him. I don't care what his favorite color is. I don't care if he was a good boy at one time. I don't care if um you know, he has a family that loves him. I don't care. And I know how that sounds, but I don't care. And I know I'm doing the God thing and I'm supposed to forgive, but me saying that I don't care doesn't mean that I don't forgive. Um, Me saying I don't care is the fact that he didn't care that Charlie had two children. He didn't care that he had a wife. He didn't care that he had friends and family and a following and people that loved and adored him. He didn't care about any of those things. So I can say I forgive him because I know he's going to die. So I can forgive him. Not for shooting Charlie, but for whatever it was that made him think that that was the only way he could handle the situation. I forgive that. The action, that's going to take more time for me. I don't forgive that action. I forgive what he that he felt there was no other way out, that that was the only option for him to do it. I forgive that. But I do not forgive him pulling the trigger and murdering him in front of all of those people, in front of live TV, in front of his wife and children and friends and colleagues and students and all of that. Like, I'm not Erica. Okay, I'm working on forgiveness little bits at a time. I forgive some part of the action. I just can't forgive that he took such a wonderful person off the face of the earth. It's not even that I don't forgive him shooting Charlie. I don't forgive him for taking him away, if that makes sense. So the shooting and the things leading up to that, I can forgive that, but I can't forgive that he took him off of this planet. And that's going to take some time for me to deal with. And me, as far as saying I don't care about anything, his family, his friends, he didn't care about Charlie's. He gave zero fucks. So why do I give zero fucks about anything that kid has going on? So what I had read in the indictment and the articles last night about Tyler Robinson, to get everything cleared up so that you knew the truth and everything about what was going on, that was all the limelight I'm going to give him, unless something new comes out that needs to be stated. But we knew that he was radicalized and turned into a left wing lunatic. We know that he had a trans boyfriend, and that was a whole other thing. Is he gay? Is he straight? I don't know. He's confused. And he talked about hating Charlie. And it's just so funny how you can hate someone you've never even met. Like, I've hated people in my life, but I've never hated somebody I didn't know or meet. I've disliked people, and that would be because of a certain attitude or aura that would come off of them when I'm standing in front of them meeting them. That's happened where I'm like, I don't know if I like that girl. She was fucking weird. She didn't even say hi, nothing. Like, that's different. But that's not liking somebody. But to hate somebody you've never met before, you've never spoke to before, that is a whole other level of just horribleness. And I think he should be sitting in a jail cell with Charlie Kirk videos on replay over and over and over and over again until the day of his execution. And I also think that they should take videos of his children and his wife and them at the beach together and whatever, and play those for him so he can see the damage he caused, and to see that he took that person away from his family, because he didn't see Charlie as a person. He saw him as an enemy. He totally didn't see him as a human being. He just saw him as a right-wing Nazi fascist for all those fucking stupid ass words that they use and don't even know the definitions of. And that's what he saw. And Charlie was none of those things. And they call everybody a fascist, yet a fascist does whatever possible to silence the opposition. So you shooting Charlie in the neck actually made you the fascist. Isn't that funny? You want to talk about fascism? Your side is the definition of fascism. But you want to say it's Trump and everybody else. Knock it off. So, we're going to have some fun with a few Charlie Kirk videos. First, let's start with this one.
Before Charlie was murdered, there was a path that we were on that was promising. Now, 2 months later, the narrative has turned into conspiracy drama about Charlie Kirk. If Turning Point was involved in it, references to Jewish donors pulling out and how Erica knew everything, and that's the narrative the number one podcast has given us. Candace can talk about whatever she wants. Same thing with Tucker Carlson. I will defend. No one has an obligation to hold my views or do what I want them to do. I'm not saying Candace should or should not do anything. My point is the audience effect of what I'm seeing. It felt like we were focused. Trump needed to win. The agenda needed to continue. Now, what do we have? Well, half the people are tweeting about the Jews. The other half are tweeting about how Turning Point killed Charlie. The number one podcast is just basically covering the true crime aspect of an assassination of Charlie, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I'm just like, focus is gone. Was Charlie really holding all of this together? Maybe.
He laid this out beautifully. And I literally at one point did think, I'm seeing everything. And it seems like things are just falling apart. And I'm like, what is going on? And I literally thought to myself, I was like, was Charlie really holding all of this together? I said this before. We're distracted. The left hasn't changed. They still want to impose socialist policies. They still want a wide open border. They don't want to deport people who come into our country illegally. They still want to have men and women's restrooms. They still want to send money overseas to who knows where, doing who knows what. You have a midterm election coming up. And if we don't win that, Trump's presidency is going to stall. And they will very likely be impeaching him. For example, Kalshi has the odds of Trump being impeached over 50%. This is people voting real money on this. These prediction markets tend to be fairly accurate. I'm not saying we're going to lose the midterms. What I am saying is there is a very real chance we will lose the midterms. I think too many of us are running around focusing on distractions. I think a lot of us have lost focus and are entertaining too much of conspiracy land. This is a real problem and we need to work to fix it because it is not helping us in the long run. This is actually harming us more than it's helping us. Anyway, just a reminder, I have a...
So with that, the whole conspiracy thing has got to stop, guys. I mean, it really does. It's got to stop. I like anybody that is watching my podcast right now. I read you the indictment word for word. He did it. He admitted he did it to his family and to his boyfriend, and the only people he won't admit it to are the police, but he admitted it to everybody. And if there was anybody that had any kind of involvement in that, don't you think he would have told his father? I mean, he told his father he did it. So why wouldn't he tell his father, look, I'm not the only one, there was other people involved, and this and that and the other thing. I don't want to go down for this. This is not only me, blah blah blah. Like, it was him. It was him. And to show you, while I can, let me see, where is it? I think it's on it. I think I bookmarked it. Here it is. Here is some insight into the mind of Tyler Robinson. And this is how crazy he was.
A close friend of Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs. This individual was a frequent guest at Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs' apartment, and the friend of Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs says this is a picture of a kind of cleaned up version, indicating that it was worse than this at times. Imagine this type of mess, he writes, but denser and all over the entire living room and the kitchen counters. He started playing on his DS and drawing in it, I think, PictoChat, and scribbling it all out while giggling with the effing wide-eyed Joker smile. He'd either been doing this or his experiments or talking with Chat GPT day in and day out. He hardly ever slept. He also started leaving little papers around the house that he had scribbled on while doing that giggling, doodles that don't amount to anything and words and ciphers that don't seem to make any sense. And maybe this is drugged out nonsense. This is not a Bob Ross painting. We'll put it that way. The friend of Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs, he said that he had played games with them for 6 years, and he spent a lot of time one-on-one with Lance Twiggs, it sounds like, and he describes Lance Twiggs' extreme mental instability and his drug usage and the evolution of his political ideology. He goes on to say, this stuff looks bad, but it's even worse when you saw his face when he was doodling this, combined with the giggling and how vigorously he'd scribble. It was very scary, the friend said. And the way he spoke was weird. It was a bunch of words, but none of them made sense together. Or sometimes it'd be in rhyme, or just sometimes he'd only smile and point at me. Bro, if I were religious, I would have called an exorcist. The smile was so effing scary. He showed me what conversations he was having with Chat GPT. He told me he'd solved some equation backwards and showed me the Chat GPT texts as proof. The chats were just paragraphs of random Greek and I think Roman symbols with numbers and random letters going on and on and on. He'd somehow gotten it to respond in kind as well. He told me to start scrolling faster, and so I did. He kept telling me faster until he was basically screaming at me to scroll faster, and the effing Chat GPT chats just went on for forever. I just sat there scrolling at max speed for at least a minute or two, and by the bottom it was still in the weird symbols. He started yelling at me that Nikola Tesla was abused by the people in his time and that no one we knew was smart enough to solve that equation, including me, because he was way smarter than me. This was all in weird, broken up sentences, too. Definitely added to the creepy factor. Tyler told me that Lance had basically been up for 3 days straight talking to ChatGPT at that time.
So, unfortunately, I couldn't show you the images that were with that. But he was a very disturbed human being, and the fact that people are saying oh, he didn't do it, or maybe he did do it but he had help and all this other stuff, no, no, no. it there was something wrong with him. He was obsessed with doing this, and he was weird. And what's funny is he wasn't like that when he was with his family before he left his family. He became this weirdo after he left and went to, I guess, college or wherever on his own. And that's when all this weirdness started to happen. And, you know, maybe if he was home and his family noticed this, they could have got him some kind of help. But he there was no help. He just I don't know. He just lost it. He absolutely lost it. And too bad that things happened the way they did. I wish they were different. I wish Charlie moved just a little bit to his left or what, or maybe his right, I don't know, but I wish he had moved just a little bit so that this would not be um this would not be a thing. um he did not deserve any of anything he got. Charlie was a good person, and it's just sad that it happened that way. So now I'm gonna go into some Charlie Kirk videos, and we are going to talk about them. So I'm gonna start with the first one.
And you seem like a sweet person, but can you tell me what a woman is?
A woman? I mean, a woman is someone who identifies with femininity.
So just let's pause. That's not a definition. That's like saying a cup is a thing that looks like a cup.
Okay.
So you got to give me a definition, not just, you cannot use the term in your answer.
Well, I have trouble with that because, I mean, I don't define anything. I don't think that.
So are you a woman?
I am a woman.
You just defined something. You said I don't define anything.
By saying I'm something means that I'm defining something?
Yes, of course. You're
I
making a
think it
value.
does.
By the way, that's the entire trans argument that I just used, is that you're by definition defining something. So
Really?
you are, yes, of course, that's the trans argument.
That's so stupid. By saying that I'm something means that someone else can't be the same thing.
Well,
That's stupid.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you just said I don't define things, and you went on to just define yourself. So you contradicted yourself.
I'm saying I don't make the definition of something. Just because I say something is one
Right.
thing.
No, I'm not
doesn't mean
asking
that
you to
that's-
make it up. I'm asking you to observe it. Right. So I don't care what everyone's opinion is. I care what is.
Okay, well, I gave you my definition and then you didn't like it, so.
Well, because it wasn't a definition.
Oh.
But now you seem like a.
And again, Charlie slam dunks, boom, and makes the girl look like a retard. Why? Because she can't give a definition to what a woman is, but she is in college. How is that possible? How is that possible? You're in college, but you can't define what a woman is. A woman is an adult human female with XX chromosome. That is what a woman is. Okay? But the left likes to tiptoe around everything and say, oh, well, a woman can be, anything. I'm not sure. Like, no. A woman is a woman is a woman. Period. Can men have babies? And this question has been asked, and people have trouble answering that question, believe it or not. I've seen numerous videos of people having serious, hard times trying to answer that question. I've actually seen a person in front of Josh Hawley in a what do you call that? They have those big meetings, Congress meetings, and they said, "Can a man get pregnant?" And they say, "Well, yeah, a man can get pregnant." Oh, really? So a man can have a baby? A man has a uterus? Yes. Yes. They refuse to use logic and common sense. No man can have a baby. I don't care how many surgeries you went through. I don't care how much hormones you take. I don't care if your titties are bigger than mine. I don't care if your fingernails are longer than mine. You cannot have a baby. Oh, there's some men that have their periods. No, that is not true. Men do not get their period because men do not have uteruses. Until there's a surgery where you can put a uterus in a male, you cannot have a period, which means in turn you cannot carry a baby because you do not have a uterus. And if you don't have a uterus, your uterus lining can't shed, which means you cannot have a period. That is point blank, period. But these people just will not give up and let it go. Nobody cares if you want to be trans. If you want to be in the world of, I think I'm a woman, whatever, I feel better dressing this way, that's fine. But don't shove it down all of our throats and make us have to pretend that you're something that you're not. Okay? If you look like a man and you're telling me you're a woman, I'm going to say, "Yes, sir. How can I help you, sir?" And you say, "Oh, no, I'm a woman." Okay, then I'm not going to call you anything. I'm going to call you it. What can I get for you? Is that all you need? I will not give you the satisfaction of calling you a she. I will say everything I can to avoid calling you a she because you are not a she. And him is the only other thing that I will call you. Period. That's the end of story. So here, this one, I can't wait to discuss this one.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got, and she was going to give birth and she would, no, wait. Oh, and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's no, but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in, one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and
But
it's all
that
human beings.
doesn't matter.
So
It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's ever going to have. That's going to ruin her life. She's going to grow up and she's going to be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get.
But
Hold on 1 second. If a person conceived and walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to that the daughter is to then say, "Hey, we're going to go for the being inside of you."
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then for the being because we're gonna pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells.
No,
It's not about. No. I'm
I know,
speaking. No, I'm speaking.
we're both-
No, I'm
we're
speaking.
both
No,
clumsy
I'm
cells.
speaking. No,
We're
I'm
both
speaking. No,
clumsy
I'm
cells,
speaking. No,
okay?
I'm speaking. No, I'm speaking.
Question one more time.
No, I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
I
the
know you
person.
don't care about
No. I'm talking about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't
the
care. No,
cells.
listen. The fetus, the whatever. I don't care about that right now until it is
Wow.
formed.
When
If there
does
is
it
a
become
if there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in
5-year-olds
utero,
can't get pregnant,
actually
okay?
they have, and they have
Okay.
given birth. There
5-year-olds
is
No,
yes,
they haven't.
There is
No.
there is one recorded case of a
Okay, I
5-year-old
stand
girl who
corrected.
gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common. 5-year-olds get sometimes, and it's
Okay,
if they get pregnant,
5-year-olds
I think they should be
pregnant.
able to have medical access to something that could save not only just their life but like their livelihood.
How many? I'm curious.
I hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so that is really nasty.
And you didn't get to hear it, but at the very end, she says, I hope your daughter gets raped, and I hope your daughter gets raped, and I hope that she has a really horrible life and all this other stuff she says. Now, here is where she is at a line. You never say that to somebody. You don't talk about somebody's children that way. Yeah, you're that emotional about that. The 5-year-old gets molested and has a baby. No 5-year-old on the planet has their period and can get pregnant. You totally made that up to try to back your argument. And your argument was full of shit. No 5-year-old got pregnant by any. First of all, if a 5-year-old got pregnant, I don't even think they'd be able to carry the baby to term because they would probably die because their bodies are not formed enough for them to carry a baby. You know what I mean? They don't have their bodies aren't big enough. Their organs, all that stuff is just not. It's there's no way possible for a 5-year-old to carry a baby. And I have never in my entire life, I'm gonna be 37 Sunday. In my 37 years of life, I have never heard of a 5-year-old getting pregnant by rape at all. I've heard of 5-year-olds being molested, but never raped to the point where they have a baby. So stop it. Stop it. Abortion is not a form of birth control. And this is what these people do. They use horrible instances to justify abortion because they can't justify it by, oh, I went out and fucked somebody one night like a little whore and I let that guy bust a load in me. So now I'm pregnant and I need to go have an abortion because I let a guy nut in me and I just don't want to have a child. So I'm going to go get an abortion. They don't mention those. They go, oh, well, if you're raped or if it's the life of the mother or if you're molested and they bring up all of these things. And okay, Charlie always says, okay, so if we eliminate abortion for everything else except for rape, incest, and life of the mother, do you believe that we should still have abortion? They say yes. So why do you even bring up the life of the mother and incest and rape if you believe that regular normal people who there's no reason why they can't have the baby get an abortion when there is numerous ways to deal with that situation. You don't have to have an abortion. Give the baby up for adoption. And then they say, oh, well, the foster care system is so bad and they'll live a horrible life and blah, blah, blah. Oh, so it's better to kill them than to let them live. Not everybody has a bad foster care experience. And not only that, you don't have to put the baby in foster care. You can actually work with the clinic or a hospital and say, look, I would love to give my baby to a family that is having problems having a baby, and I would love to pick them out and meet them, and this way, because I can't raise this baby, I can't do it, so I would love to give it to a good, wealthy family that's well taken care, that they have everything well taken care of. You can do that. You can do that. You can find people that want to have children and give the baby up. Go watch Juno. You can find two people who can't have kids and give your baby up for adoption. You don't have to put your baby in foster care. You can put the baby up for adoption. Simple as that. What is wrong with you birthing the baby and then giving the baby up for adoption? What is wrong with that? Or putting the baby in foster care? Or talking to your family and asking your family to help raising this baby and whatever, and so on and so forth. Or you have the baby, bring it to a firehouse and leave it there and let them deal with it. Or go to the hospital, be anonymous, leave the baby there, say that's it, and walk away. You can do those things, and there will be people who will find those babies homes. You do not have to kill them. Now, me personally, I don't believe in abortion, but if it was rape or incest, I don't detest that. I wouldn't say that you couldn't do that. Because personally, I don't know if I would be strong enough to carry a baby that after I was raped. I don't know if I could kill it, but I would definitely give it up for adoption or something like that. But then again, maybe, who knows, once I saw the baby, maybe I would change my mind and keep it. I don't know. But I am not one for abortion. I don't believe in it. Here is another one.
I am. Okay, what is her greatest?
Hey, free speech? Free speech?
Yeah, they have the freedom of speech to boo you. That's right.
Do I have the freedom of speech? Okay, so if I boo them, then it's an impediment of freedom of...
No, but I just gave you an open mic for 15 minutes. Let's just tell me, what is Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment?
See, that question, you can't... Okay. The greatest accomplishment, that goes back to sort of establishing an extreme. I can't definitively say, oh, this is my greatest, no, it's absolute.
Name an accomplishment of hers.
An accomplishment of her? She got in, when she was the hey. Attorney General of California, she fought the insurance companies to decrease prices that they're not going to be price gouging. That's an accomplishment?
Wow. Okay. So that's worthy of your vote.
You support price gouging?
No, I'm just curious. What has she done as vice president that makes you be like, that's my gal?
What is the vice president's job? The vice president is just president of the Senate. They don't have much.
Oh, that's interesting. If it's just a ceremonial role, why do we even have a VP?
Well, that's not the point. I'm saying
she was tasked to control the border. How has she done?
the vice president doesn't control the border.
They get portfolio projects from the president. She was given the portfolio project of the border. How was she done?
Again, she doesn't make any individual. I don't think she makes a top-down decision about the border.
She made a decision to reverse 50 Trump executive orders. Do you think Kamala Harris has done an objectively good job managing our border?
No.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty.
And there you go, my friends. That is why, again, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it throughout this entire, as long as I'm going to be doing this podcast, I'm going to say it. You do not need to be voting if you don't understand what the fuck you're even voting for. I would rather you not vote than vote for somebody who you don't know anything about, you don't know their policies, you don't understand what they've even done in life to make anybody's lives better. You just vote to vote. It's dumb. Dumb. Don't vote at all. It actually blows my mind. Like, what's Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment? It took him fucking 20 minutes just to figure something out. And not for nothing, but Kamala Harris, I don't know what the hell she's ever done, because anytime she ever talks, it's like a big fucking word salad. You ask her one thing and then she starts talking about, oh, the grass and the children, and children are the children of the world, and all and you're like, wait, what that didn't have much to do with inflation. I was asking you about inflation. And how we bring prices down is we bring prices down. And you're like, what? That did not answer any question that I just had. This is what it's like talking to Kamala Harris. Anybody that's my age will understand this reference. Okay, listen to this. I am now dumber for having listened to you. You are literally the dumbest person I have ever met. Well, I don't think they say that part, but they do. In Billy Madison, he says, I am dumber, and so is everybody in this room dumber for having listened to you. That's what it's like talking to Kamala Harris. She is a complete fucking moron. Okay, here's another one.
You're a teacher. Yes. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Oh, buddy. All right. So, we define gender as a set of preferences that you have.
Oh, my God.
Gender is a set of preferences that we have. Woman is a social construct that we've agreed upon. Typically, we imagine womanhood as makeup or whatever. It is.
Oh, really? Makeup. Just makeup.
There's a difference between the word woman and being a biological female. Woman is a social construct that we use. Listen for a second. I'm telling you what it means. Woman is a social construct. We agree on these set of preferences. If I tell you that I'm a man, it's because I want you to know that I like these set of preferences. If I tell you I'm a woman, it's because I want you to know that I agree with these set of preferences.
Can men give birth?
Can men or can males? Because males can't. These, listen for a second. If
Can males give birth? Can men or males give birth? Neither one can give birth. Are you fucking kidding me? And the fact that you insulted every woman there by saying that a woman is made up of makeup and that's all it is just makeup and some hair and our little outfits and our nails being done. That's what a woman is. Get the fuck out of here. I pushed out a goddamn watermelon out of my fucking vagina, and you're gonna tell me that being a woman is putting on some makeup and doing my hair? I carried 2 babies in me for 9 months. I was fat. I was miserable. I couldn't wait to get them fucking out of me. It was horrible. And I pushed them out and it was painful. And I was blessed when they came out and I loved them both to death. But it is a lot of work. And then every month on top of that, I have to go through excruciating pain because I have my period every fucking month for 3 days. And I have to go through that all the fucking time. And you're gonna tell me that being a woman is wearing fucking eyeshadow and fucking doing my hair? You can suck my motherfucking dick, you fucking asshole. You are a man. You don't know shit. Shut the fuck up.
if you listen to your bio professors, you would understand there's a difference between biology and what we think
So
about.
I want to thank you for proving a great point.
What?
You are why we should eliminate the Department of Education. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Charlie, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, definitely. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, you know what? Another one. Thank you. Because that is absolutely insane that you go to college and that is what you've learned. I didn't go to college. I barely even got out of high school. And I know way fucking more than some of these motherfuckers. And this is serious. This is so out of control. It is not even fucking funny. That was bothersome. Totally bothersome.
You might not even believe in Jesus Christ. You might not even believe in God. But if you are honest, you have to believe that when a population fails to believe in God, bad things start to happen. That is, even an honest atheist should agree with that. And it is the necessity of believing in God. You see, when a civilization no longer has agreed upon truth claims and does not look at each other as people made in Imago Dei or made in the image of God, horrendous actions start to occur. And not only that, people are going to find other counterfeit religions to try and fill themselves with, to try and fill their world with. And this is where I hear far too often well-meaning Christian parents, they'll say, they don't really believe in anything. They're not religious. Wrong. There's no such thing. We all worship something. Everybody here worships something. There is no such thing as a secular person. Worship literally means, it comes from the Old English, worth-ship, to worth up, to lift up, the worthy of worship, that of which we elevate. You think to yourself, well, I don't worship God, but, I'm just kind of going through my life. Well, then you're probably either worshiping yourself, you could be worshiping the environment or the planet, you could be worshiping your status, you could be worshiping power. That is why God says in the first of the 10 Commandments, you shall have no other gods before me. You might not even believe in Jesus Christ. You might not even believe in God. But if you are honest, you have to believe that when a population fails to believe in God, bad things start to happen. That is, even an honest atheist should agree with that. And it is the necessity of believing in God. You see, when a civil...
Oh, sorry, that ended up playing over again. I wasn't fully paying attention. But that is something that you need to hear. And that is part of Charlie's whole shtick. And it changed my life. And
Would you agree with that?
Can you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
If I say that we will allow abortions to continue
here, we can listen to this one.
for rape and incest, life of the mother, but all other abortions should be illegal, which is 99.4% of the time, can we make those 99% of abortions illegal? So Charlie Kirk's position is a very fringe minority. People are talking about still exceptions, so we should get rid of 99% of abortions.
Yes, but at the same time,
So you're actually not that pro-choice, actually.
I am, because I feel like there's no way to kind of divide the basis of like what abortion is being used as birth control and what abortion.
Oh,
is
it's
being
totally easy, actually. I mean, so you could tell through a DNA test if it's an incest baby.
Mhm.
You could tell if it's rape because they have to file a police report. And you could tell life of the mother based on an OBGYN analysis. So
Okay, so then if it's that easy, then why have we not done that?
abortion is popularly supported as a form of birth control. That's why. So your position is actually a very rational one, and I respect you for it. That's not Charlie Kirk's numbers. That's the Guttmacher Institute, which was funded by Planned Parenthood.
Okay. So do you like feel as though like people who are victims of rape and incest, do you think that they should be able to get an abortion?
So just so we can agree on the 99%, then I'm going to try to win you over on the other percent. But my
Right.
answer was that if there were no medical complications, so that you don't even remember the full answer. People get why does the age matter? Tell me why all of a sudden the age of the carrier matters.
Just the abortion thing is brought up so much. I've seen Charlie do so many events, and what drives me crazy is that in a lot of these events, most of the girls all come up and they all talk about abortion. And abortion this, abortion that, oh my God, abortion. And you know what? It's called close your motherfucking legs and stop being a skank ass whore. Don't let a guy bust a nut in you and you won't have anything to worry about. Wear a condom. Take birth control. Use an IUD. Take the morning after pill. There are so many ways to prevent you from having a baby before you would end up having so much of a baby that you need an actual abortion. Have you people ever seen an actual abortion? Because I have. And it is, and I saw it when I was young. I stumbled upon it. And maybe that's why it's been ingrained in me that I would never have an abortion ever in my life. After I saw what they did, they rip each leg off with this thing that it has razor sharp teeth on the end, and they clamp it down on the leg and they pull and it rips the legs off, pulls each legs off. It looks like shark teeth. And then they rip the arms off and they fucking rip the head off. I mean, it is so disgusting and it's so horrifying what they're doing. And not to mention, the baby is alive. This isn't like the baby's dead inside your body. The baby's alive. It's kicking. It has a heartbeat. It has brain waves. It's moving. It's eating. It's going to the bathroom. It's doing all of these things inside you, and you are doing this to this baby, and you're ripping it apart, and it can feel everything that's going on. That is the most inhumane fucking shit I have ever seen in my life. Like, it's almost like, could you at least shoot like some kind of needle up there and stick the baby with it so that the baby's completely numb and can't feel this horrible shit you're about to do to it. I mean, it is so terrible. I have never and will never see anything like that again in my life, because it is just absolutely disgusting. And I don't think that God would ever forgive you for that. Not not even a little bit. I think he would forgive you more for killing another human being than he would forgive you for murdering a baby. Honestly, I really truly think so. I can't even imagine it. So, that's just what it is. So, right now, this is what I did, episode 8. So I did an episode 9. How many episodes did I do today? I did 2. So I think I did 9. This would be 10. So I have plenty of episodes that are going to be released over the next couple of days. I have to do some more research and find some more things to talk about. And go from there. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I'll tap in and do the Britney story that I've been wanting to tell for a while, because that story's really fucked up. Because there's really nothing new going on, unless something decides to pop up on my phone that's more important, then I'll do that. Brittany keeps getting pushed off to the side. I'm sorry, Brittany, but it happens. So, yeah, I'm going to figure out some more stories while you guys catch up on these episodes. I might even do another podcast tonight if I find something to talk about on here. Again, here is the email. I don't have to say it again. Actually, I do have to say it after every episode, because I could get new people watching all the time and they won't understand. So, the email here is for any questions that you have for me. So, if you have any questions you want me to answer on the podcast, you just go to that email and send it to me. If you want to debate, if you have something you want to debate, I will get your email information and your phone number, because I don't know how this works. I don't know if I send you a text, or if I with a link, or if I email you a link. But you would give me the topic that you want to discuss, and I would determine whether I want to discuss this topic or not. And we would go from there. And like I said, if it gets to the point where you get out of control and there's cussing, yelling, screaming, whatever, I will completely cut you right off the podcast. If you want to co-host with me, you email me and you put co-host in the subject, and we will talk about things and see how we vibe. And then I will give you a day or two I'll pick out a story and give you a day to look up your own research, do whatever you got to do, so that you know what you want to talk about. I'll already know what I want to talk about, and then we'll kind of vibe off each other, and it'll work out really well. So that is what this email is for. So use it. So if you have any questions, email. If you want to debate, put in the subject debate, and then give me your question, your sentence you want to debate. And if you want to be a co-host, write co-host, and give me your name, and all that good stuff. So that is it for today. And I hope that you have a wonderful Friday.
Texas style.